Okay, test. Hello. How's everyone doing? And bring the scene live here in just 1 second. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Today, we're actually going to be doing some drafting. I know normally on Mondays we participate in the Historic Brawl Tournament, but sadly our person who runs the event has had to cancel it one more week, and they do greatly apologize for the fact that they couldn't run it again. But so we're going to be unfortunately waiting one more week until we have a chance to show off the 2 deck ideas that we came up with. We did have a vote that we were going to be potentially running Lowe's Han as the commander. So if you're not familiar with the Historic Brawl format, or you are and we're hoping to be able to see some action today, unfortunately, like I said, we are going to be just doing some drafting, but we had a vote on our Discord for trying to do the Lowe's Han deck, which was more around playing dragons and adventure spells. But if you'd like to leave a vote, you can go check out our Discord in the Historic Brawl deck section and leave a vote for which deck you'd like to see played if you'd like to join us for the next Brawl tournament we take part in. Because I'm still gonna hold the poll open until we take part in the event. So that way, if there's other people who decide that they want to see the other deck, they can still voice their opinions. I hope everyone's doing well and enjoying their, Monday afternoon here. But, in any case, so yeah, with that announcement about the brawls, unfortunately not being able to fire off, we're just going to go ahead and just jump into doing some drafting. I didn't have decks set up specifically for today, so that's why we're going to do some drafting. So let's see, we'll go ahead. Oh wait, where is, that's a sealed event. There we go. Premier draft. Let's see how well we can do. So far I've had actually been doing really well with the drafts. Last time we were drafting, we didn't get any crowns, but we still did decent in our win-loss ratios. When I say crowns, it means that we managed to get all the 7 wins. Let's see how well we can do this week. I mean, today at least. Alright, right off the bat, we actually find a very unique rare. Now, I don't know how well this is actually going to be something we'll want to grab. Not too many cards have enter battlefield effects we care about. But we do find the Tellurian Terror, which is actually an amazing card for drafting. I think we'll just go ahead and start off grabbing that. I'm actually tempted to try out the Argosy, but it does require us finding specific cards to really make use of it. Here with the Terror, we have ourselves the ability to make ourselves a control deck or just a spell slinger deck of some type, and it works out really well. I haven't actually really tried drafting with Fires of Victory, so we'll give that a go. But Destroy Evil is also a really good card to grab. I think I'll just start off grabbing the Fires. I think actually grabbing Kavu would actually be a pretty good pickup also. It's do we pick up the Kavu or do we pick up Fires? Since Kavu is a common, I'm just going to go ahead and pass on it right now. Alright, Rana's Vortex is actually a really strong card. Just seeing like what else we have going on. Like, Tribute to Urborg's also really good, so we can either go like black-blue or even black-blue-red for this deck idea. Find ourselves another Vortex, which is pretty good. Rager's also pretty good, but we'll grab the Vortex. I'm going to grab the Outrider, because it doesn't hurt us going for the 3-color plan. Figment's pretty good. I like Espionage, too, just because it's just a simple draw 2. You don't actually have to kick this. But I think we'll grab Figment for now. The fact that we've picked up 2 Rana Vortexes is actually pretty good. See, since we have Outrider, grabbing up the red-green land source isn't necessarily a bad thing. Either that or we grab Urtai's Scorn. I think I'll just grab the red-green source for now. Because we may take a color pivot based off of what we find in other packs. Founding the third path, probably our best pick out of these. If not, it's got to be the Sea Scavenger. I think what we're doing is actually Sea Scavenger, just to make sure we can set up the top of the deck for the draws. Third path is very situational. I don't think you ever really want to do it for the first trigger, but you could use it as like you spend 2 to recast any instant or sorcery, so you basically add an extra 2 mana for a recasting a card from your graveyard. At least that's how I look at it once I'm drafting. Tidrunner's not bad. I see, we're going to grab a black spell. Since we're trying to go more spell focused for the purpose of Tellurian Terror, Necromass isn't going to be that amazing. So far, we're at a splash of black, so I don't know if this will be that great, but I guess we'll take Bone Splinters for now. I don't even think we'll run it, but you can take the land. Stall for time. It's not bad. I think I'll take the Blessing here. Grab this. Urg, I'm not planning on using because, like I said, we're probably only splashing the black. Don't need Yavimaya Coast for this deck idea. I already actually have all 4 copies of that, so I don't need to even, like, rare draft it. None of these cards really help what we are building for. Our best pick is probably Impede Momentum. Ugh, that's kind of bad. Like, our strongest card to grab out of here is Citizen's Arrest, but since we're already picked around black, blue, and red, adding a double white doesn't feel good. So yeah, we'll grab the momentum here. This actually isn't that bad for us, just because it's still a 3-mana 3/3 with Menace. But Extinguish the Light or the Outrider are stronger picks. I think what we'll do is grab Extinguish the Light, hope the Outrider wheels. Lore Master, not very strong for us, but we'll take an Outrider. Let's see, I'm just double checking, like, what do we actually have in the deck so far? Let's see. Not much. Instead of splash the green, the Shoba Brawler is going to be good, but in that case we won't want to run Extinguish the Light because we'll just be too many colors for that black splash to go for a double black. I think our best pick is the Amplifier, which I'm not a big fan of, but I guess we can just take Infusion because it's still a decent removal spell. Garna's not terrible. Garnet is, it's going to want us having more creatures than we have, and it likes expendable creatures. I think we'll still grab it because it's still a very strong card. That's another Citizen's Arrest that went by, so whoever's drafting white is going to love what's happened in these last couple packs. We'll grab the red-blue land source. I don't really feel like I need a Lore Master. Lore Master's a very big double-edged sword kind of card. It's not bad, and was tempted to grab it, same with Goblin Picker. These are both really good cards, but I feel like I'm just going to want the Mana Fixers. I will grab the Picker this time around. I think this is pack 1 we're back to. No, actually, I think this is a different one. I think we'll take the Sea Scavenger. Yeah, this is pack 1, because it had all this green cards. Let's see. Take the Shadow Prophecy. It's the only card I can think of that actually potentially helps us here. I will take the Claw here, just because it's, you know, a 3/3 menace creature. Grab the land, I guess. I mean, Impede Momentum's always a good card to grab, but I'm trying to also grab our lands for the purpose of the Outriders here. It also works well with the Shadow Prophecies. The fact that Goblin Picker came back to us at the end is great. You know, Soul of Windgrace. Probably not a bad pick, actually. Because you can discard lands to get abilities. The only drawback to this is we'll probably never see the enter battlefield potential ramp plan off this. And we do have green splashed already from these lands. We might be able to play it. The better pick, actually, I think, in all honesty, is just getting the other Outrider or Cut Down. I think what I'm going to do is actually I'm just going to take the Outrider. Yeah, because I'm just rereading it just in case. But yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, I'll take Lily. I think we can take good advantage of Liliana. Oh, we finally see a Chaplain roll around. So, if anyone was actually grabbing early walls, they might actually have found their payoff. Alright, what do we grab out of here? Bolt Conscript, probably the best grab. Gives us a nice 1-drop that has the ability to potentially come back to the board. It'd either be that or it's going to be the Storm Runner. And let's see. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and try Storm Runner. I think we'll grab Dusk Shadow here, just because it's a great 2-drop. If it's not going to be Dusk Shadow, it'd probably be Geyser, just because it's a bounce draw. Even if we don't kick it for the extra life, it's just bounce draw. The Warleech isn't bad. Whoever went white, because I didn't actually see much strong white in the very first go-around. Whoever switched to white is gonna have a field day. Oh, a Tatyova actually went around this far. I'm a little surprised by that. See, I think Lookout's probably the strongest pick here. It's either that's gonna be the Jin. I think I'll try out the Jin. I normally don't try playing the Jin, so it could work out in this deck. Did want that white-blue land source, not gonna lie. Because it was the only color I was missing for Domain. Grab the red-blue source, because Atrocity's not going to really bring back much for creature value for the reanimation function, with how we have our deck built. I'll try out the Codex. I don't know if we'll run it, but we'll grab that, I guess. Here, down it's got to be the Figment. Actually, I stuck with the Figment, just because I was thinking I need some aggressive creature in the deck. Gonna go with the Aquafire. Because of how we do actually have the green splash in here, we could actually make use of this repossession. Splatter Goblin's not bad. Take another Conscript. Or actually, that's our first Conscript, isn't it? Yeah, Goblin Picker seems like the best one. I was thinking about maybe in the Thrall, but... Oh, white-blue land actually did wheel back around to us at the end. That's great. So we have our full domain. Now, I don't think we'll use Necromass. Take that out. Shadow Prophecy, I think I'll leave it just a 1-of. Take Momentum out. Take out at least one picker. Since we actually have hard removal, I'm going to take the Infusion out. It's actually a shame we don't have the, what is it called? The minimized, minimizer or whatever, which allows you to go search your deck for 1-cost spells. We actually have quite the curve here. We actually have a fair number of 1s, 2s, 3s. We have some 4s, 5s, and even a 6. I'm just wondering if I actually do run Dijin of the Fountain. I may just cut it. Let's see. How many cards do we have that have Kicker to them that actually can cast for it? Can cast Vortex, Repossession, War Leech. Okay, so it actually doesn't cast a whole lot. So I think we take that out. The I'm honestly not sure how a Garna is going to work out with our deck, so we'll cut the Garna. And with that, I'm actually just going to trim one black source here. Because we actually have a couple black sources in these as well. But that way we actually have mana of all colors. We're going to go 16 land deck and try this out. Still wondering if I maybe should include the other Shadow Prophecy, though. But I think we have an interesting deck build. Let's go ahead and give this a try. See, so yeah, just double checking, like, what do we have again? So we have 2 Vortexes, 1 Conscript, 1 Possession, 2 Figments, 1 Battle Rage Blessing, Knight of Dust Shadow, Fires of Victory, 2 Pickers, Scavengers, Shadow Prophecy, Liliana of the Veil, Rivaz, just mainly being used as the 3/3 Menace body since we don't have any dragons. War Leech, Extinguish the Light, 3 Outriders, 1 Najal. Since we have a fair number of removal spells that we could actually double up, that's not bad. And we have Dijin of the Fountain and Terror. Yeah, it should work out. Off of that, we are missing 1 black source for the purpose of these 2 spells, but we can get a turn 2 Dust Shadow. I think we'll still try keeping it. Okay, we just need to get a red source, and we'll still be able to just burn them for... Oh no, actually, we'll get a red source, we can burn them for 5 on the Census Battlefield, because we have the beachfront also. Well, we got our red source. We'll actually bring red-blue source to the board right now. And we'll get in for 3. I don't feel like I should try to save up Blessing to protect the Shadow. Alright, let's go for the white-blue source here, and we'll pass it back. Holding up the Death Shadow because we can block with it, and we can also still pump it. That's land number 5, so let's hit him for 5. Outrider. Okay, I'm fine with losing that to the Infusion. A little unfortunate, but that combat trick would have made it very hard to be able to protect this in general. Alright, they extinguish the light. We'll go ahead and extinguish Root Wallow right now, because the Root Wallow can turn itself into a 5/5 with their mana base at the moment. And also, we get a gain 3 life off of destroying that. let's get Figment to the board. Not going to bring Lily to the board just because they have a... It's one of those weird occasions. Like, Vinyl is actually a good thing for them because they can just sacrifice it to Lily. Lose nothing. Alright, offer, block, and Blessing. Alright, Nijal to the board. Pass it back. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 lands. The block the Rager here. I'm not blocking with Runner because I figure they have Pump. Probably the +4/+4 trample if it's kicked spell. And if we draw one of our removals... Oh, okay, they have Bite down. Same kind of idea. Would have given them the removal here. Alright. So, let's attack in. I'll pay for the 2. Pay for it like this. Alright, we can destroy that. Fires a victory with the kick. This allows us to draw 2 cards and also deal 2 damage to each of these targets. Actually, 3 damage to the second target. So we have a bit more control of this board. Defiler of Vigor, big card for our opponent. Oh, this is big for us, though. Because we're going to, before they can even block, put this on the bottom of their deck, put this on the bottom of their deck, and bring them down to 5. We get to play Outrider and finish them off. And opponent scoops it up. There we go. Yeah, Najal putting in some big work for us. This is our actual first time drafting with it. So the fact that we got as many removal spells as we have, it's just beautiful with the card. Alright, on to game 2. Hope everyone's enjoying the game so far. Hey, Ruscio, how are things going? Yeah, you got the VIP tag there. I was allowed to hand out Twitch VIPs recently, and I figure I'd make sure to hit up some of our regulars with that VIP tag, as well as some of our first supporters. Things are going great. Unfortunately, for tonight, if you tried to show up for the Brawl tournament, like I mentioned at the start of the stream, for those who are still here, it was canceled once again this week, sadly. So we're going to have to wait until next week before the tournament can possibly be taken. You're very welcome. Hey, I mean, you're always here chatting away, so I figured you've been supporting me for a while with the chats. Gotta return the favor with the VIP stamp. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately happens. The Crabs unfortunately had some things coming up that just got in the way, so... Well, glad you like it. Well, so far though we are 1-0 with our draft deck here, and we'll try to take a look at what we have here. On the open though, I think this one's worth keeping, so I'm gonna hit the keep button. Got 2 of the 2 drops that we have. Runescape's Fresh Start World is going on, so I'll be grinding my time away on that. Alright, well, best of luck with that. I've never actually played RuneScape, in all honesty. So, I mean, I actually... I know a bit of what it is, because I've seen, like, some gameplay footage of it, but I don't know, much about it, sadly. You're currently in the top 85 of mining rank, and top 40 on smithing. Oh, okay. Sounds like you have a bit to brag about. Alright. I'll be honest, the last turn I should have played Dust Shadow first instead of Figment. Just because it's got Menace, could have been able to attack in and not have to worry about blockers more than likely. Figment only has the unblockable save if we're going to play a non-creature spell, and we didn't really have anything that we were likely to play. Alright, Pun's going to get in for the 2 in the air. Okay, so before I do anything, I'm going to just send the Dust Shadow here. Alright, Pun's going to give us the double block. I'm going to use the Blessing. That way I can try to give it the Indestructible, get rid of both of the creatures. They only have a blue mana available, so all they have is probably... Oh no, I put them in the wrong order, because that actually does save their creature. If I had actually played the untapped Black Source first, they would have lost the Cavalier. Well, should have made sure to prioritize Cavalier first. We'll offer the block. We'll get that trade. Our opponent's going in the air against us. Let's go for Outrider. We only get 4 damage instead of 5, but we now have a blocker at least against the air assault that they have going on. Or we had a blocker against the air assault. Alright, let's go ahead, get the white source down. So now we actually get to look at the top 5 cards of our deck to put one on top. I don't want any of these, so I'm going to hit the decline button, put them all on the bottom. Go for the picker, and we'll punch in for 2. I mean, I guess it's a good time to see all those lands, because like I said, I can just put them all on the bottom. The funny thing is, I'm doing a 16 land deck, not the usual 17. Alright. Let's see, so I can kill this, gain back 3 life. Because I can't kill the Terror. Could I just go for the Jin? Yeah, we'll go for the Jin. Attack with just this. We'll leave ourselves some blockers. Yeah. Oh man, and you saw me post in the Discord how bad I sometimes flood. Alright, Citizen's Arrest against the Jin. That is bad for us. That would have been better for us to use the Extinguish on the Drake last turn when they were tapped out, because now I have to worry about them potentially... So I could use this, get back Outrider, play Outrider. This will give us 2 life, but they have an answer for Outrider, we just straight up die. So let's lead off with Extinguish. Move to combat, get in for 2. I will go ahead and repossess Outrider. And we'll pass it back. But yeah, actually, I was doing some deck testing for a control deck, and it just ended up flooding out so bad, and that's what I was posting in the Discord. And it did it multiple times during my testing. It was crazy. And I was only running 24 lands with the deck. Alright. I'm trying to think. They may have that counterspell that taxes us. And they could kick that with their mana that they have available. I think that counters any spell, not just only non-creature, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I couldn't pay for the mana even if they had the kick on it. But no, they just have straight up Essence Scatter, which is bad for us. Alright, we'll bring down the mountain, pass it back to the opponent. Voting for this terror just being a giant wall on the ground here. Alright, we'll try to put this on the bottom of the deck right now. Just that way there's less of a chance they had a card to interact against us. Because if they were running Shore Up, I want to try to take the chance while they only had one card in hand, and if they had, you know, multiple options. Opponent may just come in with, yeah, I was going to say come with the Terror, because it's going to force us to give up a creature, or we can give up this double block here. Because we're top decking either way. Oh, geez, this kills us, doesn't it? Yep. Well, we'll give him the GG, but we'll go out with our own spell. Oh, that was a close game. It was a close game. Yeah, the deck idea here is we are taking advantage of the domain for the Outrider since we managed to get 3 of them. But we're a Spellslinger deck, so we actually have our own Terror as well. I'm actually not feeling like I like the Jhin too much. It's kind of a slow body to get to the board, but it's still a 4/4 flyer. We'll just run it back. Because I think I made the adjustments as well as I can. Okay, I think we have a pretty decent keep here. So, next turn we go for the Figment. Unless we hit like an untapped black source, in which case, Dust Shadow. Well, there is a black source, but it's tapped. The annoying thing about that wall is it allows the opponent to prevent us from stacking the top of our deck with something like a Sea Scavenger. Because they can go, okay, I see you decided to put that card on top, I'm going to get rid of it. Oh, they just pass. Okay. This only costs 2 to activate. We'll go for the Dust Shadow here, and we'll pass it back to the opponent. At this point, I'm just going to probably discard our Aquaflyer. Since we already have an extra... No, actually, I don't want to give up the second black source. Okay, so I put that back in our hand. Probably discard Figment. Yeah, discarding Figment probably is the best. Discard here. We'll go for the Scavenger right now. Because the opponent's more than likely going to want to just play to the board. Putting Vortex on top means that we can get rid of the core colony, unless they mill it right now. Right, let's go to combat. Send some bodies. Because we're basically scaring the opponent into making us think that we might have combat tricks or something. But with them leaving all their mana up, I was thinking I wanted to play around some counterspell magic. Pass it to them. Because this is an instant speed. If we get it counterspell during their turn, that means we don't have to necessarily worry about a second counterspell. Put this on the bottom. Okay. Then the goblin. We'll go for Ravaz. And we'll go for the knight. Opponent may have another one of these Flowstone infusions in their deck, which could kill the Dusk Shadow. Oh, black, red, blue for our opponent as well. So I've got a little bit of a mirror match here. Alright, so they tuck that to the bottom. We'll attempt Outrider. Send in the damage there. Decided not to go for the pump to hold up Blessing because of the indestructible tag on this. Okay, so Barricade for our opponent means we can't send Goblin Picker anymore. Alright, let's go to combat. Send both of these. See how the opponent reacts. Alright, looks like we're going to double block Outrider, in which case we can get ourselves a 2-for-1 scenario here. And we'll actually go for the pump here. Alright, Blood Fist for our opponent, but they're mostly tapped out. We'll just spend the 1 blue to try to put this back in their hand. It works. We'll give them the GG. Because that ends it. Now, the opponent did stumble on their mana early game, but I think we played it pretty well against them. All right. Gotta love once when you get all those little daily rewards all like triggering off for you. While we don't have the second black source for the play to Lily right away, we do have the ability to play this on turn 2. Or we can set the mana for this on turn 3. But either way, I think it's still a keep. Okay. I mean, I do like the fact we're getting the Outriders, considering they're just straight damage to our opponent's face. Alright, since we drew another picker, I'm actually going to go for putting one of these to the board right now. If I can get the pump out of the opponent's hand, I'll take the pump out of their hand. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do this for the Scavenger. We will keep the... We'll just take the mono black source. I don't feel like, let's see. Trying to think how many double blue spells we have. We only have Jin at double blue. I think I'll just risk going for the mono black source. Let's get that pump out of their hand. Alright, so they have take up. Hello, Izzy. How are things going? Nice to see you here. Let's see, we'll go Ridgeline to Goblin. Pass it back to the opponent. And they get some reinforcements. Due to the opponent having reinforcements, I'm so glad I didn't try to go for the Liliana. Block, block. Big pump spell for the team. Yep, there's the charge. Land Outrider. Do 4 damage to the opponent. Then we can Outrider again. How many pump spells does my opponent have? Apparently all of them. I mean, they gotta run out of them sooner or later, right? You know, we're gonna go Liliana here. We're gonna sacrifice it. Did they top deck another reinforcements or something? It's definitely something they can play at instant speed. Because they had a pause when we were going for casting Liliana. Okay, so they decide to keep their flyer. Now the question is, do they get rid of the Liliana here, or do they go in our face? Alright, they're saying face is the place. Alright, we'll go for another Outrider play. Let's go for the plus. We'll give up the blessing here. Okay. Give it. And we'll pass it back to the opponent. We'll hold up Vortex. See what they do. Block here. Vortex the token. Please sacrifice that. kick this. We will bring back Outrider and Liliana. We'll just put this to the board, and I'm going to hold back in case they have a haste creature. See? Haste creature. So glad I decided to hold back. Thing is we'd be dead here if it wasn't for the 2 life gain off of Reap the card there. Alright, Outrider to the board. I'm gonna use the plus and pass. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oops. I meant to put that to the board, then plus. There's times where you just turn off your brain by accident. Okay. Right, War Leech to the board. And I'm not going to kick it. +1. And at this point, we get to separate the opponent's permanents into 2 piles, and we're going to say that they can either keep all their lands or keep all their creatures. Oh, did they get the kicker spell? Another one? Holy cow, opponent. Alright, well, in that case, I don't need to use Liliana yet. Sea Scavenger to the board. Top of deck. I'll keep the Najal. I'm actually going to go ahead and do the minus. Just seeing how their opponent's mana is set up on their cards. Yeah, we'll do it like that. They either get to keep their white sources, or they get to keep only, you know, 1 white source, 3 red. Our opponent's down to 1. As long as they don't have anything, another one of these Keldon strike teams, yeah, we get the win, and there we go. Man, they really pushed us hard, but we got there. Whew. Red-white actually can really push quickly if you got the right cards for it. But luckily we managed to survive it. Alright. We're against the Angry Wizard. Okay, we actually have mana of all the types that are important for our deck, so we'll keep this. Let's go ahead and lead with the black-blue. I'm going to set up so that we can play Scavenger next turn, so I'm going to go red-green. Okay, Izzy. I see that. We can do that. Forgot to get my timer set up for this. Let me get 1 second here. Alright, the timer started. Let's go... Red Source Scavenger. Set up the top. We'll grab Vortex, I think, because we could. Nice one, Izzy. No, I'm not falling for that. I know you know how to play the game. I'm not going to intentionally say words that aren't going to be what you need for teaching somebody that, you know, to try to avoid saying something to, like, speak around the man, I'm having a hard time saying this. Because I'm already trying to think about how I don't say a certain word. I'm not going to intentionally try to sabotage teaching people in the event that they do need to learn that kind of thing. Oh, you know very well what the word is. After all, you chose it. Alright. We'll go for the Storm Runner. And they have Destroy Evil. Makes us sad. Real sad because we were planning on going for a mountain here and been able to have used its ability for paying 2 of any color to extinguish light and get rid of 2 of their cards. Well, it still says it in the chat log for you. Oh man, this is unfortunate that we have 2 1s and they're generating a bunch of little token bodies. Now, I'm going to do this, see if they are going to try to play some type of combat trick, otherwise we'll get rid of it at least. Oh boy, lots of tokens. Tokens everywhere. Guess who's bad at playing against tokens? Liliana. Oh, jeez. Well, we gotta preserve our life total, so down it goes. I wonder how many cards are going to dedicate to killing it. Okay. Let's get rid of 1 more token. A 3rd Captain's Call. Wow, this person's got all the tokens. Alright, we'll bring down the War Leech. And they get the 1-drop Phalanx. Luckily we have Extinguish to get rid of Phalanx, but I feel like they have another removal spell. Yep, there it is. Let's see if we can get rid of this right now. Alright, let's see. Kick repossession. Let's see. We tap this, this, and we'll tap this. I was making sure I have the land set up to be able to cast one of these back to the board. And we'll lead with Stormrunner. Alright. Curse is up. That's the 4th copy of Captain's Call from our opponent. How many did they grab? Holy cow. Yeah, we are just very dead here, aren't we? Yep. Man, that's a GG situation right there. Because even if we bring both of these to the board, they just swing wide and we lose. We'll at least take a couple more tokens with us, just for spite value. Oh well. Man, that was just some bad luck on the pairing, because the opponent had the token go wide strategy, and we had spot removal type cards, so the spot removal build does not really work against a deck that just keeps going one card, three things to go to the board. I definitely had the card value against us. Alright. I think we have a pretty good keep here, so we'll take this. Lead with the black-blue. Next turn, go white-blue, so I'm going to go land to Scavenger. Yep. I had the opportunity to drop down Picker here, but I figure we want to make sure we can get the Scavenger to help stack the deck. Alright, which color do we find? That's fine. Let's see, so we can grab the blue-green source, makes it so that way we can guarantee play Outrider, and be able to get the 5 damage from it. Or we go for Najal here. Najal's actually pretty decent. I think we'll just grab that. The only problem with Najal is it does cost 5 mana, and we are just being a little greedy since, you know, we're going to draw it and get a land drop. But we'll have to draw another land to be able to play. Oh, so I decided to start it up right as I said the word. Alright. But we'll go ahead and start the timer now. That's a good one to say there, because it's kind of hard to talk around that one. Alright, so they cast a Kavu, hit us with a Swarm. We'll bring out Picker, pass it back. Yaya is a threat. Luckily we can use Vortex to tuck it. I'm not liking our board state, because we can't block either of those, so we're going to take 3 this turn and another 3 next turn at the very least. Alright, do I go for this? So if I bring out Najal, opponent has a chance to remove it. If they don't remove it, we can attack. We'd have to get another untapped land source to use Vortex twice, so I think the safer play is... Let's do this. Let's attack with Picker. See if they block. Do they give up their token? They did. Okay. That means that we can get rid of this. And now we don't have to worry about the token interfering anymore. How'd this one work? Target creature gets +1/+1 menace whenever they cast Black Permanence. Yeah. Alright, let's... go for Outrider. Get him for 4. Pass it back. Alright, opponent's just bringing out big bodies now, and while we have big bodies ourselves, it's still a bit of a threat that's going to be hard to deal with. Okay, interesting. They only attack with the 1. Go for Stormrunner. I think, is there any removal that we could top deck and cast that would actually double up with Stormrunner? I don't think there is, so we're going to have to just offer blocks. Like so. I know that they can just use the Kavu's effect to make it so that way they can kill the Outrider in a trade. But we're at a low enough life total that we can't afford to take the hit. Alright. They're going to make us discard 2. We will ship these. Do I kill the... Should deal with the Defiler, so I'm gonna pass it, because we can cast this during their turn. So what is our opponent's move? Necromass. Alright. So I did make a mistake. I should have made sure to kill this. Alright, well, enjoy your Lurker, Ushio. Head in 4 turns to the little flyer at this rate. Okay, so we can bring down the Terror. Terror deals with Necromass. And we use Vortex to get rid of the Swarm. And the curse is over. Managed to avoid staying play for the 5 minutes. Yes, I very much do enjoy playing this game, Izzy. Let's see, I'm trying to think, what do we do here? I think we Vortex away the Swarm, but better to still save it up for the opponent's turn. Leech actually becomes a 7/7 when this dies, but it's currently 5/5 because we have Outrider in the graveyard. They put it ever top decks a Lightning Strike, we're just straight up dead. Let's get rid of the Swarm. Oh, and they have another aggressive Sabotage, which is just like Getting hit by a lightning strike. Ah, well done, opponent. Well done. Yeah, I think my greed for keeping the Najal ended up biting us a little bit. Just because we did stumble a land a turn, which put us a little behind. But the opponent had some serious threats. The fact that they had the Kaya, which we tucked under the deck, an early Kavu and double Necromass, plus the Defiler of Flesh, made it very difficult to block the opponent. Yeah, but well done from them. Unfortunately, that is loss number 3. And we only got 3 wins, but... I mean, if you want to see what we were playing, because you may have joined late, this was the deck idea. And it did really well in the matches that we won on, but the problem is we came across someone who just did Captain's Call 3 times, and we don't have any sweeper-type cards. So we just got beat down by a whole bunch of little 1/1s. And strangely enough, Lily on the Veil kept having an issue where we were playing it and the opponent had the token plan on their deck. So it ended up becoming kind of a dead card in some of the matches. But I don't think this was a bad deck that we crafted here. I think we just had a bad matchup for one of our losses, definitely. And our last matchup, we just didn't get the right answer cards to deal with them. Like, we had the right cards in deck, we just didn't really draw them. And they definitely had serious bombs. Alright. Jump into another draft here. Okay. Oh wow, that's actually a bomb right off the start for us. Danitha Benelia's Hope. 4/4 first strike vigilance lifelink creature that auto attaches a aura from your graveyard or hand as well as an equipment. Well, it's in ore situation, but still amazing. So we'll take that. Let's see, if we're grabbing that, Sky Knight's not a bad card either. Let's see. I think grabbing Micromancer right now isn't a terrible idea, because we can find ourselves the 1-cost spells that work with it as we go. Because we're going to want to get shore up for our deck, more than likely. You're going to curse or silence me during a draft pick session? Okay. Alright. Come on. Timer. Alright, there we go. It started. Alright, so for our picking here, let's see. Probably the Impulse. Actually, we're early enough that I could grab Fury, and that one works out really well for our deck. Because we could cut the blue and go for the red. We'll see how it works. Actually, let's grab Vanquisher's Axe. I take it back. It actually works out a lot better. If we splash red, actually, this is a bad splash card. So taking Bard actually works out really well. Geyser's also really strong. Let's go with Bard. Take up the shield. I like this. Gives us protection. Also, the permanent +1/+1 counter works great with the Recruiter. Strike Team. Strike Team's actually really good. Question is, do we keep the blue in the deck at this point? Definitely finding some really good red-white cards. Yeah, I think we'll take Strike Team. Not in love with any of these ones. This is just so expensive to activate. It's only a 0/3 defender. I think we'll just take Thrill. We could grab Fires. Fires can actually be worked in with the blue side, but let's actually go Phalanx. I think I'm liking Phalanx grab a little bit better. Grab the white-blue land here. Grab another Phalanx. Oh, I screwed up. Alright, I'll just restart the timer on this, because I still unfortunately don't have, No, I need the Blast. Inferno. And Furious Bella. Let's see here. The Wastes aren't a bad card. Don't really care for the green or black here. This isn't very helpful for our design. So, best card's probably Warbird or Outrider. I think I'll take the Wastes just to get us the color fixing. No, I should grab Recruiter. I was actually really tempted to take Firestorm here, just because the kickers on this allows us to protect our creatures and get a hard sweep. We're actually in the colors for this, so I guess Firestorm's not a bad pickup for us. So we'll actually get that a try. Do we take the Terror? The big body. Oh, no, we want the Heirloom. This is actually really good for us, because we have multiple legendary creatures that this works with. And it's actually more useful than the Vanquisher's Axe. It's a little bit more to equip, but the one more toughness sometimes really matters. But the other thing is, because like I said, this if you have legendary creatures, it gives it trample and haste. And being able to give this trample on top of its other abilities is going to be useful. Let's actually try the Berserker. I haven't actually used this one yet. Because when this dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. And we have a bit of an equipment plan here with the Vanquisher's Axe and Heirloom. And it's got the Enlist mechanic, so let's give that a try. Not seeing much on this one I care about. These Scavenger's the best pickup, I think. Because we already have 2 Phalanxes, and I don't want to overstock the Phalanxes. I guess actually we'll just grab a Steel Crusher. I don't think it's a very good card, but... Oh, Wrath. We'll grab Wrath. Heroic Charge is great, but the ability to get card draw and a mana sink for +1/+1 vigilance for your whole board, pretty good. So currently we have just a blue splash. This Sky Knight might need to come out just because the double blue might be too expensive for our deck. Oh, what am I thinking? I need Strike Team. Dragon Bolt's actually pretty good. So we'll take that. I'm not the biggest fan of Faith Bonder, but it's not a bad 2-drop. It's 1/3 Vigilance, and it's got that Enlist mechanic. But I like Warbrute more just because it's got the more important Trample skill. Captain's Call is not bad. Do we want the Picker or do we want the Axe? We kind of have the equipment plan going with our deck. Decide on the Axe. Go for the Faith Bonder. Guess we'll take the Phalanx. Curse is up. Reinforcements over Weatherlight completed. I would like to take the Heroic Charge, but I think I want to prioritize the reinforcements. I think it's just going to be, this might cycle around. This one probably won't. Weatherlight Complete is not a bad card. I just haven't had much success with it in draft. You have to have a very specific, like, deck to make use of this card, and I don't think you'll get it to naturally work for you often. And we didn't build to use it, so... I actually really do like the Mindsinger, but we don't have the right kind of deck for it. We actually do have a deck that can make use of the Captain here. I think I'm going to prioritize Battle Mage Captain over the Cavalier. You'll always show up in, like, Pack 3 if I ever see you, and it's already too late to build around it. I will take the Citizen's Arrest. Yeah, I think, we have to cut this one. Grab the Cavalier. Grab Bellow. I'm going to prioritize Cavalier over Kavu. Vanguard's not bad for us. Not amazing, but it's not bad. Because we do have a lot of token go wide ability. We'll take the Fire NATO. I don't think it's going to be a strong removal spell, but if we do keep the red-blue splash for the Battle Mage Captain and Wrath, it will give us some decent potential payoffs. Cutting that already. just trying to go through like what cards we've already picked up here and which ones will work for us, which ones won't. We'll take the Heroic Charge. Take up the shield. Probably better. I'm actually not a big fan of these Steel Crushers. I don't think they're that amazing, but for filler slots, they'll work. Haven't come across too many people that run artifacts that the sacrifice to destroy an artifact is too relevant against. While amplifiers aren't bad, they usually don't end out working out as well as I hope. So we might not run them, but they're not bad cards. Yeah, so I'm actually going to be trimming the Sky Knight just because we're just a splash of blue. And I may just cut the blue, because let's see, we don't need Micromancer. Wrath and Balmor Battle Mage Captain are the only two blue cards I'm really considering for the deck. And I'm going to actually keep the blue splashed in also for the purpose of Firestorm. Because it doesn't really hurt us to have, you know, the white, blue, and the waste in it. We may just cut the island and trim the two here. Let's see. Actually, I think we'll go ahead and cut Battle Mage. Cut one Phalanx. I know it seems weird that we're keeping Firestorm in considering we have a go wide deck plan. But if we come across somebody who's set up a big board, giving up the board state but managing to keep up to 2 targets might be worthwhile. Alright, let's actually take out the Artillery Blast. We'll take out 1 Axe. Take out the Amplifiers. I feel bad that we couldn't get the second Recruiter for the deck. Thought that would have been amazing. Okay, we have to trim 5 more cards. I think we'll trim... The thing is Twinferno actually isn't bad for us because we have the ability to potentially give cards trample with the Heirloom for our legendaries. And giving it double strike is actually pretty good. The problem is we don't really have a good double up spell opportunity with this card. I think we'll... I'm just taking out Steel Crusher. Still not loving it. Although I do actually want some kind of 2-drop. I'd rather the 1/3 Vigilant creature. It's strange, it doesn't look like to me I have this many cards in the deck, but... Let's see, these are usually about 5 cost in how we think about them. Let's actually take the Fire NATO out. Try to take the Vanguard out. Take one Bellow out, and we'll take, let's see, Thrill Possibilities out, and we'll take out a Mountain. Yeah, I think that'll work out. So we have a little bit of a equip build here where we can use the Vanquisher's Axe and the Heirloom. Got these enlist cards that also generate tokens. A little token action here. Some Heroic Charge. The Strike Team to generate more token value. Phalanxes to take advantage of the fact that we made a lot of tokens to be super cheap. Danatha with the equipments is going to potentially be a beast for us. And we're running 2 Take Up the Shields to try to make sure we have protection for our cards. Let's see how this works out. I wonder if this small splash of blue just for Raph might be a little too greedy or not, but we won't know until we try. Actually, you know what? I take it back. Raph is too greedy. We'll just use the Vanguard instead. Yeah. And by doing that, we can take the island out, put that mountain back in. Keeping these 2 blue sources in the deck just for Firestorm. Let's see how that works. Okay. Well, off the open, unfortunately. We have to mulligan. This one's a little risky, but I think it's better than the last hand. I'll choose to keep this. Put the Twinferno on the bottom. Because if we draw lands, we have the Danatha as a payoff. We just have to hopefully have the ability to protect it with Take Up the Shield, in case the opponent has removal for it. Okay, both of these are great cards to play on turn 3. I'm just trying to think which one do we lead with. I think we lead with the Cavalier. One of the fun things about this enlist mechanic, you can actually attach an equipment to the other card and enlist into it to swing in. So that way you don't have to like try to re-equip it later. Oh no. This opponent's got the walls. Chaplain, you're just an annoying card if the opponent has the synergies with it. Well, let's go ahead and enlist attack. They'll more than likely trade off with the Vanguard, but I send the enlist attacks out. We can't just chump block it with the shield wall there. Getting rid of this is still useful for us because of the mana sink that it has to be able to pump all their creatures. Oh, you're going to silence me on a keyword? Okay. We actually built a deck that makes use of it, so you're going to punish me on that, huh, Ruscio? I see how it is. Alright, let's go for Danitha. The only problem with Danitha is you can't do the attachment with something that's already on the board. It only attaches based off what's in your hand or graveyard. So it's a little awkward in that sense. See. If we top deck a land, we can at least kick this to give our creatures trample until end of turn. Danitha's lifelink will at least give us an advantage against these bird tokens, but... Oh no, they have the phasing of Zalfir. Thankfully we have Take Up a Shield, but they're not even risking it. I thought they would phase out something to, you know, keep a body, but... Let's send this. Let's go for our charge. So we kind of have an even board state here. Alright, they play the Aeronaut. Let's see. Alright, at this point, we're just going to send it in and probably Firestorm. Because I don't want them having the advantage of when this hits us, that they can stack the top of their deck. And since it has flying, we can't just block it. Oh, they meant to kick from how it sounds with the oops. That's unfortunate for you, opponent. Alright, I'm not choosing to apply Vanquisher's Axe in case the opponent does have a destroy spell of some type, so that we're going to use Take Up the Shield. Alright, we're drawing a little too much lands now. Alright, we're going to send this in with its skill. And by recruiting the strength of our other creature for its power, it still swings for the same as if we equip the axe to it. Alright, we'll attempt to take up the shield. Get that lifelink, and we don't lose our creature. Alright. We lose it to the Runic Shot. Unfortunate. We'll send the attack. They do get the ability to get a card off the top of deck, but we don't have to deal with the flyer. And we'll hold the land just to bluff here. Alright, and the curse is over. Love Song of Night and Day. They start with the Create the Bird token, and they play the Paranoid Partisan. Sten's actually pretty good because you get the passive mana cost reduction of the chosen type, and you can reset it by spending the 3 to have it leave the battlefield, re-enter. Now, it doesn't immediately come back. It's at the beginning of the next end step, but that's also good because that means it can dodge sweepers. Unfortunately, we've already used our sweeper. And if it wasn't for the fact the opponent used a sweeper of their own, we wouldn't be in quite the bind. Alright, pass it to the opponent. Oh, a Jin. Unfortunate for us. Yeah, because this doesn't really do much for us in this situation. And yeah, we're just dead in the air. Give them the GG's. But just for spite, we're gonna go take out Raph. Now, they probably still have like a protection spell just to spite us. Yeah. Let's see, how much did we actually send there? 3, 5... No, we actually sent 6, so we still killed a Raph. That's right. We take the Raph with us. Oh man, that was painful though. The fact that the opponent hit us with a sweeper, the turn we brought down our big bomb, was very punishing. Now, unfortunately, I don't even think that one was quite an almost. Like, they had quite a lot of answers going on for them from how it looked. They always kept maintaining a hand size while we kept going down playing our cards. Oh well. Trying to think like what we could have done maybe to play around the opponent a little bit better. We could have tried waiting until we got up to 7 lands to be able to play our bomb and then hold up protection for it. Well, thanks for the encouraging good luck there, Ratio. Do appreciate it. Alright, on the open, well, we have a slow hand, but we can always just go with the idea of maybe just resetting the board on turn 5 and just hold up the bird. We'll take a keep. Alright, we'll bring down the heirloom. And it's a land pass to the opponent. I think we'll still play Warbird, just because it's, you know, such a large body for the 4 mana. And we can just put pressure on them with the heirloom. Do they have something? Okay, they're just going to bounce it back to our hand. Okay. Well, we'll bring this back to the board. The only problem with the heirloom here is that it only gives the trample haste if the creature is legendary. Otherwise, I'd say, let's just go ahead and bring down the Faith Bonder, play, equip it, and just swing in, and have ourselves a 3/4, but that's not the case. Alright, Outrider for our opponent. Unfortunately, we are whiffing on lands. And we're going to do this just to hold up a defensive line. Hey there, Queen. How are things going? Alright, so Vortex to bounce. So I'm glad I brought this down here just as a chump block. Alright, we were planning on blocking with it already, so... we really need to top deck ourselves an untapped land. Hashtag I'm good? Why does it have to be a hashtag? But nice to hear you're doing well. And the lack of land draws is really hurting us here. Go with this on the Outrider. It's a little dangerous. Because... oh, it's a typo? Okay. Fair enough. Jeez. I know I'm doing a 16 land card deck here, but... the fact that we've only hit 4 at, when we're 26 deep... I'm sorry, we're 14 cards in out of a 40 card deck. Oh, you're using your iPad. Oh, okay. Alright, deck. Where's the land? Why? Oh, jeez. I think that's unfortunately going to be the end of us here, isn't it? Because it looks like the opponent's just got all this bounce interruption. Because we've replayed this Warbrute 3 times to this game, I think. Yeah, we've replayed it 3 times. Okay. Are we dead? Yeah, we're dead. Oh, jeez. Accidentally rubbed the S key. I have no clue why the S key turns into a pound sign for the hashtag there, but okay. Yeah, no, we got stuck on 4 lands, unfortunately, with our most expensive spells in our deck. This was a bit of a feels bad. Because we drew every single one of our top-end cards before we hit our 5th land. Yeah, it is a thing. You can build a deck as well as you possibly can. And then there's just a case of just how good is your luck. It's one of the reasons why I guess the game does try to recommend 17 lands in the deck, is to try to prevent you from getting, you know, short on land. But I find that usually if I go 17 lands, I usually end up drawing still 10 lands within the top 20, and I don't want to draw that many. Oh no, I can believe that. I just don't I don't have an iPad, so I don't have much experience with them. Alright. On the open, we can actually see what the equipment plan can do here with the Vanquisher's Axe Heirloom. We have some of our cheaper creatures, so let's give this a go. They'll go ahead and run out the reinforcements like it's a sorcery speed spell, just to play around if the opponent goes island and then has the Essence Scatter or any 2-mana cost counterspell. You slide over the S key, there's a hashtag. Okay, I mean, I totally believe it. Let's bring out the Berserker. Pass it to the opponent. Opponent brings out Rager. That's actually a nice timing for the Phalanx. Still would have liked more land, because we still have, you know, more expensive spells to keep playing. Alright, Splatter Goblin, unfortunately, is like 2-for-1 against us. I don't know why you're explaining it, but, I mean, you heard I didn't know, so you tried to explain why it works the way it is, and I do appreciate that you thought of it like that. But I'm doing well. Would have liked it if we could have done a little bit better in our draft so far, but I'm getting punished on my, I guess, greedy mana base here, just only going 16 instead of the usual 17 lands here. Alright, so we send both of these in. So if Splatter Goblin does the -1/-1, get rid of our Berserker, we can now use it to still get rid of Faith Bonder. So no longer have that 1/3 body blocking for them. Yeah, we're doing some drafts today because, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, unfortunately the tournament got canceled because just something happened with the crabs, and he wasn't able to operate it. So they said that they're going to hopefully try to have everything ready for next week, like our usual time for Mondays. He didn't go into the details of it, so I didn't think to ask myself. Alright, bring down another Phalanx and send in some damage. So, while we got mana shorted, our opponent did too here. I don't know why they kicked the Sleeper. I think they did that out of an accident. Some people also just kick spells, thinking that you should always kick a spell, even though there's no advantage sometimes. Alright. The opponent's just constantly blocking with their one creature. They're going to never be able to develop the board to have answers. We'll swing it all. We'll give them the charge. We can't kick it, but it's still just going to be enough value. Actually, I don't even need to go for the heroic charge here. They blocked the way they did, so we'll just Captain's Call. And we'll offer them the GGs, because I doubt they're running any of the ---- sweepers. Yep, and there they go. Oh yeah, if you haven't had a chance to check out the Discord, you can go ahead and check it out at this link here. And the reason why I'm posting it right now is just because we originally did have some deck designs ready for doing the tournament, and not too many people really voted on which type of deck they'd like to see play. And since we aren't going to be playing today, I figure I'll still post it out there so that way people who haven't had a chance to check it out can, and be able to let us know which of the two deck ideas they'd like to see played. Because we have a Lozhan, the adventure style deck with lots of dragons, and then we have the Niv Mizzet Spellslinger deck. And depending on how the community votes is the deck that we'll try to play during the event. So next Monday, hopefully, we'll be able to participate in the tournament, and we'll get to show off one of those two decks. All right. Well, we managed to get our first win with this. Hopefully we can dodge some more bad luck and keep the wins going here. Alright, this actually seems like a pretty good keep here. Like, this is... got the mana that we could play the Phalanx on turn 3. Because we can go... Wait, did I do the mana rate? No, I can play on turn 4. Because we don't have a 1-drop in the deck. Oh, okay. I mean... It's nice to know you checked out the Discord there, Queen. I was just saying that nobody's really voted on the deck ideas was all. Alright, so we brought down Baird. We'll get in for 2 and pass. Alright, opponent just land passes here. We send in some reinforcements. Go for the Phalanx and get in for some more damage. Got a nice aggressive start going for us. Alright, Celix will blow up these. But it won't kill the Phalanx. We'll just go for the +2/+1 right now. And send the lethal. And there we go. I honestly thought, math-wise, we'd actually be short like a point of damage. And then I realized that this was 10 here, and then we have 6 here. So that's 16 damage. That's a very quick match for us. So, there we go. Opponent had the Celix, which was a strong card against us because they could destroy both our 2-drop and both our 2-drops and our token. But even if they were allowed to activate it, our mana cost reduced card still base mana cost is 6, so they wouldn't have been able to get rid of our 4/4 vigilance with it. Alright, this seems like a greedy hand to keep. Nice thing about this hand is we have the Citizen's Arrest. 1 mana of any color allows us to play this. But I think this one's just a mulligan. It's too greedy. I will keep this one. And I'm going to send the Axe to the bottom. Okay, land pass. Now, the important question here is, do we play the strike team on turn 3 here? Or do we wait for potentially the 5th mana source and play it turn 5? Alright, they're going for their turn 3 strike team. I think we have to go for it ourselves just to be on the defense here. As much as I like to attack it and be aggressive against this opponent, if they're just straight red-white aggro, and I'm seeing the green here for potential pump, we want to take it a little more defensively. Captain's call. Let's go for the whelp. Pass it to the opponent. That's dangerous because of how many tokens they have. Okay, so how do I want to do this? I could play Baird, equip Heirloom, and then we get a 1/1 token. Or I can go Phalanx, and we have a 3/1, potential 3/3, and a 4/4 blocker. When they attack in, we can block 3 things. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 getting through. That's 8 damage at the very least. Just going with what's on board. I could also play Baird and play the Phalanx in the same turn. But then I wouldn't have the 1/1 token. I think we still go this to this. Gives us the best blocker lineup. Because now we can play Berserker and equip Heirloom. If we don't draw anything useful. Alright, Destroy Evil. The Destroy Evil would have been bad against us because I was thinking about equipping Heirloom to the Recruiter anyways. So then we would have lost our Recruiter. Let's go Faith Bonder, equip to Faith Bonder, pass it back. Oh, that's rude. That's just so rude. I was playing around the idea of them potentially having a second Destroy Evil. Oh, and there's Take Up the Shield, which would have been perfect for us to protect this from that. That is such a shame. Let's send this in. See what the opponent does. Okay. I think our opponent's just like waiting for a second white source so that way they can like play the +2/+1 to everything. Okay, so block. Block. Block here. Block here, block here. Let's see what the opponent does. Okay, so they go for the pump to everything. We'll use Take Up here. Do the extra 1 point damage to finish off Strike Team. Get in for 4. Hold up blockers, just in case our opponent has the card I'm worried about. Alright, there's that plane, so they actually could have the spell. Flash this in. So we could take up to, let's see, it's going to be 4 trample damage. Yep. So we're going to lose our Whelp, we lose the tokens, and we take a bit of a hit. Less lands, please, deck. I'm still going to put to the board. there's Danitha. Let's send this in real quick. See what the opponent does. They give it the double block. So they have probably a pump spell or maybe a lightning strike. Yep, there it is. Alright. We got all their cards out that we'd be worried about if we had Danitha. Alright, we're going to go for the equip here instead of going for Strike Team because this is now going to be trample and so even if they like chump blocked, we get the hit in, but also we get a nice boost of lifelink back. We're going to give them the GGs because I don't think they have anything to respond here. I'm just going to send the attack in. The reason why I wasn't kicking a strike team is in the event that the opponent had some kind of ability there. But yeah, good game, opponent. They take themselves out. So, I mean, the deck actually looks like we're doing well whenever we actually can draw a decent hand. So, hopefully we don't have an issue where we get like stuck on like only like 3 lands again, like that one hand. I think this is a little risky, but I think I'm going to try keeping this one. Okay. Cavalier is a good draw, but we would like to see more lands because of what we have in hand. Oh, deck, don't short us on lands here. We can't afford that. Because we need at least one land in general to be able to play a lot of our cards. Alright, Micromancer for our opponent. What do they get? Aura. Okay. We do get the lands. Here's a weird thing. Let's send this real quick. Okay. So they give that the respect of us having interaction. Let's go for the whelp. Oh, that's rude. Timely interference forces us to block with the whelp. Okay, let's see here. I think I'm just going to... One, two, three, four. Captain Skull? Our opponent brings down the Academy wall. Alright, they attack it with Micromancer because they know that they can untap it. let's go for Phalanx. We'll go for the attack with all. And pass it back. I was wondering if I could get them to waste the shore up there. Alright, they pass it back to us. We're just going to lead things off with the attack. See how the opponent responds. We'll go for the charge. It's going to force them to have to use something to protect Micromancer and the wall for them. And they decide to have the counterspell at the ready this time. Alright, they kick the bounce, but it's still not that expensive for us to replay it. So, let's see. Kick this. Get ourselves extra bodies. Play this for 1. Can force them to use the shore up. And we can trade against Micromancer. The other thing that they could have done is also they could have made it that way the Amplifier could have traded against the Phalanx as well. I'm trying to think like what's our best play here next turn. I think it should be swing all, hold up Bellow. Let's offer the trade against the Amplifier. I was worried that they could cantrip themselves into killing us, because this gets +2/+0 for each instant sorcery they cast. And since we know that they have the shore up, that's at least 1 spell, so an extra 3 damage that they were representing. Alright, Pump decides to pass it. Let's go for the combat. Swing it. Alright, there's the short play finally. Really? Let's go for the Bellow to try to get rid of Micromancer. We'll keep the take up the shield. I'm trying to think, do I go for the Warbird, or do I just let the board sit? I think we'll go for Warbird. Opponent could have a board wipe, because they could have a Firestorm of their own. Yep, there it is. But we caught them before they could, you know, kick it and protect their wall. Alright, we got the Hope on the board. Sadly, we were 1 mana short for holding up protection. Oh, jeez. Things are gonna get tough now. Alright, opponent's turn. We're already at the point where I think we have to start firing off the Firestorm. Because I can't take a risk if they have a counterspell to not force it out of their hand right now. Does that mean if we top deck anything that doesn't stick to the board? Oh boy. More land. Not good. Come on, deck. Give us something good. No. No. Here you go, opponent. Ah. Every time we go for Danitha and our opponent has a removal spell, we are just a mana short from being able to protect it with the Take Up the Shield. It feels so bad. Alright. Unfortunately, that's it for that run there. We only get 3 wins. Still feel like we didn't do a bad build on this. I think that the Firestorm probably is something we shouldn't have tried including. Maybe just go for that last Phalanx in the deck. Yeah, I think that's probably all we should have just done. And it's either got to be the Phalanx or the Furious Bellow, just to keep the aggressive part of our deck going. Danitha, when it was able to not get hit by removal, did amazing work, but sadly, almost every time we played it, our opponent had removal, and we were either 1 mana short from being able to play Take Up the Shield to protect it in the same turn, or we just didn't have to Take Up the Shield. I do think the Heirloom is actually a pretty good equipment to pick up, because of the 1 toughness actually mattered a couple times. But, oh well, that's the way it goes sometimes. The fact that we went against multiple people who had board wipes was just also some bad luck. Playing an aggro deck, coming across people who managed to draft board wipes. Okay. Alright, get ready. Let's see, what shall we try to draft this time? All depending on what we see, right? One thing is, I do want to try drafting the wall deck, but every single time I've seen the wall come around, it's in the 3rd pack. And it's like, alright, it's too late to try to build around that. Alright, what do we have here? Got some good cards. The Phyrexian Missionary is actually really good just because it's, you know, a 2-drop, 2/3 with lifelink. But the kicker on it to reanimate, or to bring back any creature from your graveyard back to your hand, actually does have some serious value to it. You know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and try and make an Ivy deck. We can go Teamer Pump and try to see how that works. If we want Teamer Pump, Micromancer is actually going to be a good thing to pick up. Because it helps guarantee us getting a one-cost spell. And as we saw, Shore Up did actually show up already. But I can also do things like get timely interference and such to get some card draw. So that could work out. Let's see, how is this worded? It has to target specifically one creature, right? Yeah, single creature. So Joint Forces doesn't really work with it. I was wondering maybe if we go for the white plan, but I guess we'll grab Soaring Drake. None of these really build to our plan. I mean, don't get me wrong, a number of these are great cards. But I figure we'll try something different. Lookout. I mean, I guess we could just go with Flight Superiority deck also. Alright, we're going to want this. Wondering, it's like, do I want to grab this right now or just start picking up the lands? But we need to make sure we have our pump spells. And this is actually a great pump spell for us because we can actually search for it with the Micromancer. And this, just if we go 3 colors, is going to be basically a giant crow. So +3/+3 to a creature. Gonna start off just grabbing the land here. Don't feel like... well, actually, no, I'll grab Warbird. Warbird's good. Because, like I said, we're gonna go for Teamer. Red, blue, green. Grab the Gardener. How's the exact wording on this? Whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, you may copy that spell. That spell, copy targets Ivy. Alright. I was wondering if there's a possibility of using this with the fight spells, but that technically targets 2 creatures, so it would they would never really work out. Let's go Sea Scavenger. Furious Bellow, that works great for us. I think I'll actually still grab the Outrider. It's not a bad card for playing in general. I don't really care for any of these. I may just take the black-white and run it for the purpose of Domain. But I'm probably not going to run it. I think we'll grab... I think I like Warbrute still a little bit more than this. Actually, we'll take the Worm. We'll try the Worm out. Grab the Essence, Scatter. Broken Wings we'll put down here. Firebrand's actually a really solid card. Yova is also really amazing. Tail Swipe's also pretty good, but I think... think I'm gonna stick with the Tayova pick. No, I take it back. I want the Firebrand, because actually if we successfully get Firebrand and Ivy to the board, we deny the opponent blocks easily, and we get a lot of value on the skills. I actually do not really feel like I like the Jhin. Jhin can actually be very strong if it gets to a board, but I never have been able to get that to work. Most of the time, my opponent's got like a kill spell ready for it, so I just never been able to get it to stick to the board. I think I'm just gonna take a land here. Play to our domain. I'll take this out then. There's no reason for us to run the white-black one, in all honesty. There's just nothing out of that pack that the white-black one came with that we cared for. So we're like, sure, we'll take this. Wind Grace came around. I'm a little surprised by that. Nothing in this actually helps us. Except for Fury's Bellow, but in all honesty, that's going to cycle around more than likely. I'm just going to rare draft. Hope you don't mind. Because I only have one copy of this, and I like the deck ideas that this can make. So getting a second copy seems nice to me. What do we have here? The Gaia's Might and Hammerhand both actually trigger Ivy. But I think Gaia's Might's still stronger than Hammerhand. It's only searches for instant sorcery, so better for Micromancer that we grab the Might. Battlewing Mystic, I love this card. So we'll grab that. If that wasn't there, it'd be Illusionist or the red-green source. Alright, gonna grab the blue-green source here. Oh, Colossal Growth, Colossal Growth. It's your Colossal Growth or Shore Up, but I think I want Colossal Growth just because this gives creatures trample. It's so good. And Bog Badger is playable for us. Tatyova came back around, so we'll grab Tatyova. Tatyova's amazing. I don't know how this one went all the way around. Jhin came back, so I guess we can pick up Jhin, but I don't know if I'll run it. None of these cards matter. Grab the Blessing in case we decide that we want to try to splash for that black, but I doubt we will. It's still a 3/3 for 3. It's not terrible stats. If we do get a black source that we can generate with like Gardener or the blue-black land source, we could give all our creatures medicine till on the turn. So yeah, Bog Badger is not terrible for the deck. Probably one of the first on the chopping block, but alright, Scout the Wilderness or Hammerhand? think we'll go with the Hammer Hand just to try it out. We may just trim it from the deck. I think we'll actually keep the Librarian in for now. The worst rare... Brawler's a good card. We'll grab Brawler. At this point, I might just be focusing on grabbing lands up whenever I see them. Since we don't really have much removal, I guess we'll grab the Tail Swipe. But actually, I like the Illusionist. Let's grab Illusionist. In order for Tail Swipe to work, we have to have a creature that is strong enough to fight. And I'd rather play around a little differently. Let's grab Battle Mage Captain. That's actually hard to figure out. Do we want the Battle Mage Captain or the Infantry? Both of them are amazing. But I think I'll go with the Captain, because it pumps all of our creatures. The problem with these, they both have a... You have to cast it, and the copy triggers don't work with that. But that's fine. Grab the blue-green source. Only card I care about maybe would be the Figment. I think I already have some pretty good creatures set up, so we'll just take the land. Take the land again. Actually, no, I actually want Bite Down. I take that back. Because this is a one-way fight. This isn't a... our creatures hit both each other back. Take the white-green land source. Because that would actually finish off our domain. Strongest card is probably Turtle, but I actually like Librarian more than Turtle. But we do have the ability to give our creatures trample, so the enlist mechanic's still not bad. Does come with Ward 2. Still a mediocre card. Again, Shore Up or the Might. We already have 2 Mights. I think we'll just take up a Shore Up. Because the untapped part of the combat trick can be very useful. Oh, there's another Shore Up. Gonna grab the Sentry. Need to sell some more decent bodies anyways. I'll go for the Sojourner. I'm not a big fan of it. But I don't think I need more small creatures. Take the Bite Down. Take the Figment. We're gonna have some serious cuts to do. Probably already just start cutting that. Let's see what we got. So let's see. Illusionist fine. Hammered Hand. Hammer Hand, I think we'll trim. I don't think it's strong enough. I think we'll just go ahead and cut the Essence Scatter. We're just going to go ahead and let our creatures resolve the spells as we have Bite Down. Badger can come out. So can Librarian. I'm trying to think, do I keep the Jin or not? I think I'll keep the Jin this time. We'll cut one of these worms. I can actually cut the Outrider, because we don't really have a whole lot that takes advantage of Domain other than Firebrand. Oh no, we have the Brawler too, so... I was thinking it's like I could take these out. If I take out the black-blue source, since... I'm just trying to think this out. This is always the hard part, is like once you get to the last couple cards. We don't want to trim down to the usual 16 if we're going to run Tatyova. We're going to want the 17 lands. I guess we'll cut Soaring Drake. I'm gonna cut the Tortoise. And I'm just gonna run it as 41. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll just run a 41 card deck. We have the pump plan because we have Ivy the Gleeful Spell Thief. So whenever we target a different creature, we can copy it and target Spell Thief. Now, one of the other things to make note of is whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, means we could actually steal our opponent's pump and target Ivy with it as well. Or anything that has like the cantrip draw tag on it. Now, Jin of the Fountains will also take advantage of all the little pump spells that we're running. And we do have ourselves a Colossal Growth, so we can surprise the opponent with Trample. But because we also managed to get ourselves a Battle Mage Captain, whenever we cast a spell, we can give all of our creatures Trample. So our pump spells that don't just naturally give Trample will give Trample. So cards like Gaia's Might do become stronger. I think we have ourselves an interesting draft deck here. Let's give it a try. Don't see too many people use this avatar, so it's a little interesting. Alright, from the open, we don't have the red source for Battle Mage, but I'm going to go ahead and give this one a try. Alright, we did hit the red source, but we're going to lead with Figment. Alright, put in place tap land. We'll go for the Battle Mage. Get in for 2. Next turn we can play Warbrute, and we'll have an attack force that's large enough that this Colossal Growth should put in some hurt on our opponent. Oh, looks like we're going to have to replay the Captain. But that's fine. We'll actually still just go with the Warbrute plan. Be efficient with our mana here. Outrider for our opponent. Okay. Let's go for the Captain. We will go bite down, this to this, cast trigger, +1/+0, so we get to destroy, get in for some damage, and unless the opponent has something big here, we have lethal. Okay. Move to combat. Attack in. Let's see. Regular play of Colossal Growth. I didn't bother kicking it just because we get to trample here. And yeah, there we go. That was a quick game. But the other reason why I didn't kick it is just in case the opponent did have some kind of answer, I could just play the Mystic for 2 to keep the pressure going. But we got there. That's a quick round there. Alright. So, who thinks that we can actually make it all 7 with this deck, and who thinks that we're gonna stumble this time? Any bets on where we'll get on this? Actually, here, I think I can manage a pull here. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so there we go. So I have a poll running now, so that way if people are interested, they can vote to see how far they will make it. I don't know how this really works with the Twitch interface, so I've never actually tried doing it before. Okay, so it actually pops up right above the chat if you want to take a look and submit your opinion. Alright, on the open though, we're gonna have to take a mulligan on this. We'll keep this one should be decent. We'll put the Bellow on the bottom. Actually, let's put Lookout on bottom, we'll try it that way. Alright, we'll go to land, go for the Nishoba Brawler. Fortunately, we miss a red source here. Let's go Scavenger, try to find ourselves another land. Oh, well, we hit a land. I was trying to think like what would be better for us to try to dig for a red source or play Gardener, and I felt like it was better for us to dig for the red source because it passively makes Brawler better, and then we can also still play out cards afterwards. Let's send both, see what the opponent does. Alright, they go for the double block. We'll go for the Furious Bellow. Put the island on the bottom. Now, the opponent gets to scry twice because both creatures die at the same time. because it's whenever a creature you control dies. That counts itself. Alright, we find our Spell Thief, which is strong, but I think we're going to go for... Let's attack first, see what the opponent does. I'm curious if they trade off the Gardener here, or if they're going to hold it for mana. They're holding it for mana. Let's go for our Gardener. I decided to go for the Gardener also because if the opponent had the fight spell, it made it so that way we could play around it a little bit. Because if they had a tail swipe, so they could trade Gardener off. Let's see. Go for our 4/4. I decided not to play Spell Thief this turn because if we actually do top deck the kicking style pump spell that we have, it grants not only the power and toughness, but it also grants haste to it as well if we kick it. So what we could do is we could bring Spell Thief potentially to the board, kick the pump spell at the Sentry. It would be sorcery speed, so they'd see it coming, but it'd still be a lot of damage. Alright, they're just immediately going to discard a land to gain some life. That is an instant speed ability, so they can add the land to play. Because what they did is they held the trigger on the stack. Because when it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may put a land card from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. Alright, let's go for the worm. Trying to think, how much can we attack it for right now? I think I only want to send the Gardener. We are representing 9 points of trample damage against this opponent. Between two creatures. They get a reach creature. Alright. Warbird's actually pretty good, and we can also play Spell Thief in the same turn here. So the opponent has... This still has probably priority here. See, if we attack all... They could block, kill this, not lose anything. They could trade against one of these. Let's see, so they could trade there, so we wouldn't get any damage through. That's to hold it for next turn. Okay, so if we attack it next turn, we can enlist the 4/4 into the Warbird. Fortunately, we're not finding our pump spells. We've only hit one Furious Bellow so far. They could have combat tricks. If they have land in hand, they can keep this from dying by giving it indestructible, and they could also just discard to gain life to avoid getting hit by lethal. This could swing for 7, which would be bigger than the Souljourner. And it's going to be trample damage. We can actually swing it up to 8 by using the worm, but... I think we're just going to wait until we have a more favorable attack. Because I'm trying to actually do the math here, how much they can block, and they could negate out quite a bit of the damage. Alright, so they go for the discard draw instead of discard life gain, which is, again, one of the things I was a little worried about. Because, also, alright, attacks got harder for us because of that. Micromancer's amazing. Okay, so play Micromancer. Take the action. Grab Might. I think this is a turn. We'll at least send this, because this is tapped out. We'll send the Tramplers, and we'll also send the Spell Thief. We'll tap this. So the opponent knows we have Might, and it gets +4/+4. So we can use the Might, get rid of the Sojourner. Now, what's actually better for us? Get rid of Sojourner right now, because we can always still attack with Warbrute with the extra pump here. But I think, yeah, it's better for us to pump here. Take the action. Pump there. Alright, opponent's down to 3. Pass it back. Alright, Vine Wall allows them to get a land, so they have the ability to use Windgrace if they find a land within the top 6. That gives them a chump blocker. But at the moment, we have a lethal strike even if they were to discard that to gain 3 life. The 5/4 against 5/4, 1 trample. Oh, that's game. We send it. 5/4 against 5/4, 1 trample. Oh, that's game. This card right here has to be something amazing for our opponent to not die here. Because we just Colossal Growth kick it onto the Gardener. Because every single point beyond the first point is just, like, against each blocker, going to kill the opponent. And when we target here, since it's a cast trigger here, we get an immediate shift to the Spell Thief as well. And when we target here, since it's a cast trigger here, we get an immediate shift to the Spell Thief as well. And there they go. Spell Thief putting in work. Took a little while for it to put in work because we had to dig for those pump spells, but we got there. Alright, so apparently 2 people think we'll actually be able to make it to 7 wins with this deck. Doesn't actually tell me, like, who votes, so it's all then, you know, going to be, you know, like, secret ballot kind of idea here. So let's see how far we can actually take it, though. So far, we are 2 wins, no losses. This... only 2 lands? We go first. We have the Illusionist to fix our mana, but we already have the red, blue, green here. We do have Spell Thief right away. I think I'm just gonna be greedy and keep it, try it out, see how this does. I think everything says that you really should just send this one back. But we got our card we built around in the open. Now, granted, we did have a red source, not another blue or green. I was just hoping to draw into the turn 2 play there, but unfortunately, we miss lands. And by missing lands, I mean we drew the most expensive card in the deck instead of drawing a land. Ooh, the Thran Portal on white. And the thing about the Thran Portal is, I don't know anytime you'd really want to play this card, because it's kind of like a City of Brass. Okay, opponent's playing walls. Let's send this. Because we can get rid of the wall, dig for the land, we find it on top. Espionage to draw. Probably, yep, I was going to say, they're probably digging for lands themselves. Let's go for blue here, get ourselves to Spell Thief. And we'll send it back. We currently have a +3/+3 with Might. We could turn it into a 4 with the Illusionist effect. Yep, there's the Chaplain. Let's bring this to the board. I can't bring myself to attack because they just chump block with birds. Yep, more birds for our opponent. The target creature defending player controls with power less than, so 3 can still block. Do I just take out the birds? I think so. I mean, I know I'm denying myself a lot of burst damage here by doing that, but I can't really afford to just take all the chips. Okay, so we can bring out the Lookout. Pass it back to the opponent. Let's see, if we get a mana of any color, we can Outrider for at least 4 damage to the opponent. Unfortunately, we're going to start losing to these Blight piles soon. Outrider, 4 damage to the opponent. We'll attack with the Lookout, because if they go for the double block, kill it. We at least get to dig for land for the Jin. I know I give the opponent 2 more scries here, which is bad for us, but if we don't find ourselves a land, we can always find ourselves... Alright, we'll actually take the Mystic. And I'm going to probably play it, kick it, get rid of Jin, look for pump spells. Okay. I'm surprised he put it dragged, but it actually allowed us to get around the fact that they had walls that could potentially drain us to death. Alright, so we get to Jin. Alright, unfortunate. bring down Sentry and pass, because I really want to kick this when I play it. It allows us to get some card draw. Alright, bring this back to the board. Enter the battlefield. So if we top deck an untapped red source, we could actually full control mode the Mystic's Kicked function and Colossal Growth Kick to give it haste. I think what happens is we just send the Sentry first. Yeah, opponent's full on walls, and they gave up their win condition walls with that sweeper because they had both blight piles in play plus a chaplain. Okay, so Control Shift to get full the hold on full control mode. We kick this. Go ahead and pay for it. Let it go to the board. Before that resolves, let's kick this. Remove the full control. Alright, and we had a shore up, so we actually now have protection for our cards. This has trample, so they're going to take a lot of damage from it. Alright, we just have to get the Mystic through, and we have lethal. Ah. They hit a Sarah Paragon with a wall deck? That is disgusting. The only thing that's saving us is the fact that this is a 4-drop. Alright. Sadly, we are flooding at this point. Pass it back to the opponent. Maybe they forget Sentry has reach and attack in with Paragon. We get lucky that way. Pass it back to the opponent. Maybe they forget Sentry has reach and attack in. I'm not too optimistic about where we're sitting with this board state. Because we just used our trample pump spell. There's only one of them in our deck. See, which spells do we still have left in here? We've used one Fierce Bellow, one Gaia's Might. So we have at least one more Gaia's Might in the deck. Bring out the Gardener. I'm going to hold the land as discard fodder, because we know the opponent has Prescient Espionage in their deck. They may have another one, and they may choose to play it and kick it. Alright, opponent's turn. We've already played our one of Outrider. I'm trying to think, like, what outs do we have here? One of our few outs is we could hit Battle Mage Captain. And then we could send in 2 attackers in the air with the shore up to potentially get that lethal. But we have to get it soon because Blight Piles drain us quickly. But no, we're just going to keep drawing all that land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, I can't complain we're drawing all the land considering we're in the bottom of our deck here, but... See, how many walls do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're just dead here. The opponent realizes that they can activate the Blight Piles. Alright. 5 cards deep. We don't get anything. Yep. Good game, opponent. Sarah Paragon wins it for them with the frickin' wall deck. That is some amazing luck to their pile that they managed to draft there. Because they may have only had one Wingmantle Chaplain, but Blight Piles are just powerful unto themselves. And they have a Sarah Paragon to bring these back if they lost them, so... Oh man, that's so rough. And we got so close to finishing that. Oh man. So yeah, the wall deck is a real thing that you can draft. The problem is you have to find the walls. And if you start drafting for it, you end up only getting like maybe like 3 walls for your deck. Those 3 cards become quickly dead cards. Because it requires you running a lot to play it, right? Alright, on the open, I think this is actually a really cool hand. We'll keep this. Because we're going to do this turn 1. Turn 2, I'll go for... Do I go for the Spell Thief or do I go for the Captain? If I go for Spell Thief, they have more opportunities to remove it, so I'm going to go for the Captain. If I go for Spell Thief, they have more opportunities to remove it, so I'm going to go for the Captain. And this means I can go Spell Thief, potentially hold up Might to protect. But I really want to use Might to do damage, so it's kind of a awkward situation here. So instead, we're just going to go in for the damage. Opponent's second opponent, though, going with the wall build with these Blight Piles. Alright. Score lethal? Actually, how much damage do we do? 1, 2, 3. So we actually do more damage not animating or changing a land color because we have Captain. So plus here, take action, plus there, plus here, take action, put you on the bottom, and yeah, we'll keep that. But the opponent's dead. Wow, how much damage did we do? A turn for 22 damage swing? Wow. Yeah. Battle Mage, Captain, and Spell Thief. You gotta respect that damage. I think that's the fastest I've won a draft. Turn 4. Now, granted, it would be very hard to win a turn 3 draft without... I mean, like, winning without your opponent just scooping. Like, you actually were doing the lethal damage. That was actually really impressive in my mind. Alright, this one's going to be a mulligan. I don't like how slow this hand is with only 2 lands. This one's a keep. Now, I'm trying to think, do we keep the Bellow or do we send the Bellow? We have Micromancer, so we can guarantee ourselves a spell for the purpose of Battle Mage. So I think we'll send Bellow. Lead with the black-blue, so that way we can go red source Battle Mage. Alright. Now we just need a mana of any color for the purpose of these. Alright, land of any color, because we already have full domain. Come on, deck. Please give us that land. Oh, please give us that land. We want to go faster because they have Beast Collar. I mean, Spell Thief's good, but we need the land? Wait, do we have lethal if we just top deck an untapped green source? No, we don't, because they just create a reach creature. But how much damage are we looking at? Let's go Micromancer. We'll grab Shore Up, I think. Because we're light on our green sources. If they enlist the Steel Crusher, we give it a block with Micromancer. If they do that, how much damage can we push at them? Because this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we can play this for an extra 4 points. So, that, wow. Yeah, we actually could potentially lethal strike them. I'm kind of hoping to actually send the whole team there, but... Ooh! Ooh, ooh, ooh! Nice, but that's a good game. Alright, so... if I did the math right, we have lethal here. We'll send the whole team, though. I could have misdone my math here, but I'm fairly certain this is just GG's, especially considering how they blocked here. So, add this, take action, and do this, take action. But there we go, yeah, 19 points of damage, plus the 1 trample. The fact that I got the combo of these two again, it's so powerful. Now, I was really worried because of the land draws, but it worked out amazingly. I'm going to have to build a standard deck around trying to do both of these in the same deck now, because that's just a crazy pound. I'm actually wondering, is it worth trying to go for that 1 mana cost domain spell for up to a +5, considering we have the triomes? Or is that just being too greedy? Alright, no pump spell. Oh, my game freeze here. Uh-oh. I think my game's crashing. Alright. Hard killing the game so that way I can try to reopen it. So that way I can choose to keep that. That hand does not look bad. The game will default keep it, so at least this isn't a bad one to have it crash on like that. Okay, yeah, so we're good to keep this one. We lead with the Tangled Island, or Islet. Then we can go for the Firebrand. We lead with the Tangled Island, or Islet. Then we can go for the Firebrand. I'm actually trying to think, is it better to go for the Firebrand still, or go for the Brawler? I think I'll still go Firebrand. Because Firebrand has the ability to force it out where they can't block. Okay, they do get a Hydromancer. Let's go for Gardener. I'm actually going to hold off on attacking with the Firebrand, because they could block with the Hydromancer. Let's go land, go for the worm, pass it back. At this point now we can actually activate Rodha's Firebrand. We can attack with it. Make it so that it can't block with Hydromancer. And we can swing with both the worm and Firebrand for some damage. Okay. Oh, we actually have the ability to kill that. So this will cost us 3. Yeah, so we have just enough mana to do it. Activate. Gaia's Might. Pump. Not a huge pump, but it's still a pump. Bite down. Oh, they have Shore Up? Alright, well, in that case, you can't block. Oh, they have Shore Up? Alright, well, in that case... Wait, how... Oh, that's right. This could use mana for any instant or sorcery or kick spell. I for some reason put it in my head, Tide Turner only is mana for kicks, like spells with kicker on it. And now we're in a tough spot because of Defiler Vigor. We're going to take the hit here. We don't block. And turn this into a race. Hopefully we top deck another pump spell. And we can hope, but sadly, be stuck here. Alright, we'll pass. We'll use Gardener for the potential trade here. Ah, jeez. And they have the 7/7 Trampler that gains them 5 life. This is just bad for us. The only advantage that we have is Gardener can trade with any of them. But except for this, because we can't block that. Okay, so that goes up to being an 8/6. How much can this goes up to? It goes up to being a 5/3. So we have to block in order not to die here. Yeah, we're kind of boned. Probably actually should have given up the Firebrand in this block. Yeah, that's game. I can't even emote to them good game, though. So yeah, my problem with that one, I should not have activated the pump the way I did to bite down, because I could have just went in for the attack, used the bite down in response to them potentially saving Vigor from us using pump spell off their block, because this was +3/+3. If we attacked with the worm, and, well, they probably would have just taken the hit. But we could have pumped either one of them to protect here. You'd still been able to, you know, attack in with the Firebrand. And one of the other things to make note of, we could have actually used the Gardener as source for Bite Down, because this just has Death Touch, because it makes the creature deal the damage to kill it. So yeah. Misplays were made, and unfortunately I was punished for my misplays. We'll just jump straight into the next game. So little awkward, but I think I can keep this. It's a little awkward just because we only have the Brawler here. And we have 4 lands, so there is a risk of flooding. Alright, Daisy, what you got for us? Alright, because the opponent's out of red, I'm actually going to hold off on bringing Brawler out right away. Reason is they may have Lightning Strike. This allows us to play around the Lightning Strike because we have Shore Up to protect it. Let's go for the attack. Okay, that's fine. I can draw a card. Response to cut down would just give it a pump. So cut down fizzles. Pass it back. Alright, opponent's gonna impulse. So, this opponent more than likely has the Tellurian Terror in their deck. Alright. Let's attack it. Alright, we get a hit. Go for Tatyova. It's a little early to have Tatyova on the board, but our opponent hasn't dedicated any other creatures, and we don't really have any other play, so we may as well. Alright. There's the Terror. I mean, for purpose of Tatyova, more lands is good, but we really wanted to draw another threat this turn. Let's attack. Okay, so Brawler's going to die, but we are going to use Bite Down. So get rid of the Terror. We get a little trample damage to her. Deny the him. Squee for our opponent. We can block Squee, but they don't attack. Alright. Play a land. We'll animate a Forced, and we'll also play out Lookout. We'll swing both. Opponent's down to 5. We'll take the Squee hit. It's negligible considering we were at 20. So if they kill Tatyova, they still have to bring something to the board to deal with our Forest or our Lookout. One, two, three, four, five, six. Alright, so they bounce the land. Unfortunately, without Tatyova, the land's just a land now. Sadly, this does not have, like, haste or something, but we'll still bring it to the board. Going for that 3. Alright, we got the opponent super low. Opponent can't block with Squee against the Firebrand. Okay, now they can because they have the Faithful there. Because we'll more than likely activate the Firebrand, make it so that they can't block with the Faithful. They have to kill the Lookout, though. or have some type of flying blocker for it. No blocks. They seem to have another Bone Splinters. Nothing from our opponent, so we're going to go for the pump. We tried to declare attackers. We say this can't block, and there we go. Opponent explodes. So, we're making some good progress. Hey, what are we at now? What win number was that? That was number 5. Alright, so we're at two losses here. Question is, can we make it to that 7? We are so close. And for the 2 people who thought I can make it there, I'm going to do my best to try. Because we did take a poll to see if I could make it all 7, and ultimately, 2 people thought I could make it all 7, and nobody else voted, so at least somebody believes in me. Alright. Let's see here. We got some really strong cards here. Problem is we don't have the red sources to make this hand work. So we're going to say mulligan. Opponent goes first, so we do get the draw. I think I'll risk this keep here. I'm going to put Bellow on the bottom. I'm going to keep the bite downs. Okay, cool. We get the land. With that land, we can search for our fourth source with the Sea Scavenger. Alright, we hit the fourth source, so it's whatever we want now off the top. I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to lead with the Gardener here. I don't know, I feel like the opponent might be holding up Counterspell Magic. And Gardener's also great for us to resolve first, because then we could potentially do a bite down play to destroy any of our opponent's creatures and still play Sea Scavenger. No, I'll take the 2. Alright, they go land, and they pass. We'll attempt Scavenger. Nice thing about Bite Down, it is an instant. So they did have the counterspell, or they top decked it after we played Gardener. I'm not sure which is the case, but nice thing about Bite Down, it is an instant. We'll say we'll take the 2. Or they top decked it after. Alright, they're just passing, in which case we will go ahead and bite that down. Take away their only threat to board. They're leaving that on top, which is not a good thing for us, more than likely. Go for the Sentry. Alright, it resolves. We'll send in the 1. Alright, opponent's got a Marrow. We're just going to immediately just bite that down. Well, do I go for the Illusionist here, or do I wait a turn and kick it? Even if the opponent kills my board, I could kick this next turn. Let's actually hold off and play it next turn. Having a 3/3 flying threat is, I think, worthwhile holding up a turn to play. I mean, it does cost a lot for a 3/3 flying threat, but alright, they cut down our 1/1 there. Let's go for the kick. See if they have a response. Alright, another counterspell. Alright, we hit the Spell Thief. We'll try to put it to the board. And we'll also try to bring Mystic to the board. No kick, because we want to keep this growth. Because if the opponent does not kill the Spell Thief, we have a good chance of getting lethal with the growth. And so the opponent actually had quite a bit of counter magic here. They had a Bomb in Marrow, and they had a Cut Down. So what else do they have? Let's see, if they only kill off Spell Thief and present no blockers, we still could. Alright. Well, go for trying to still get that lethal here. Yep, that's lethal. I was worried that it's like, I was gonna have to wait at least another turn, but we get there. Alright. Platinum 1. We're almost actually up to Diamond here. Alright, one more. Can we do it? What the heck happened there? Weird. Had a weird little echo loop I just noticed. Okay, fix the echo. Trying to think if this one's worth playing, and I think we can, because we can use the Illusionist, get ourselves a green source for our Gardener, so it's worth taking the keep. So we turn 1 the Illusionist. Turn 2, probably the Aquafire. I'm just going to hold it back because we need this Illusionist to survive. I want to play around potential removal spells our opponent had. Alright, transform that to a green source. Get the Gardener to board. Gardener for our opponent. No blocks. We need the mana source. Go for the worm. And we'll swing in the 1. Ooh, Sheoldred. Before you get to interact, opponent, on getting me to lose life to Sheoldred, I'm going to bite that down. No. No Sheoldred. Alright, we get the lookout, and we attack in. That is a heck of a bomb our opponent had. Let's see, opponent, though, missed some land drops. We may be able to close this one out because of the missed land drop. And the fact that we had an answer to the Sheoldred here. Alright, they repossess it back to hand, bring it back to the board. Let's see here. Trying to think, how do we handle this? Alright, so we'll move the combat. We'll attack like so. See how the opponent responds. Alright, so they're going to block there. We'll turn this to a green source. We will kick a Colossal Growth. So 1 point's lethal, that everything else is trample. Opponent's down to 3. Their turn, they go up to 5 because of Sheoldred. And so they get the spawn of Turd. They can sacrifice a life, or land, gain 2 life. I'm trying to see if there's a way for us to still push the lethal through. So they're going to be at 5. convert this to a green source. Play Outrider. That's going to do 4. We'll get into GG's. Because we swing the Lookout. Lookout swinging 3. Even if they sacrifice their land to Turg, that's still lethal. And we can still play a Gaia's Might here. Yeah, and we'll pump it for the extra, just to show off a little. Yes! Alright. So we managed to actually get those 7 wins. So when we made that prediction, the 2 people who said we would make it, we got there. So there we go, 7 wins, baby. So yeah, if you just start joining us, this was the deck that we played. Our pack 1 pick 1 was the Gleeful Spell Thief, and boy, this thing actually worked really amazing. Especially in 2 games where we managed to actually get Spell Thief, Battle Mage, both of them on board by turn 3, and we closed the game out on turn 4. It was crazy, those games. Now, actually, no, wait, we only did that in 1 game, but that we got them both down turn 2, turn 3, and then killed them turn 4. But there was another game we got them both to the board and just finished them super fast. I think everything in here just worked really well. I love the synergies of how we were able to play this deck. The only cards that felt a little lacking, still, I don't really like Jin of the Fountain. I never get this to sit on the board. Every time I've played this, it just immediately dies, and it sits in my hand usually for so long because of its 6 mana value. It's a good card, but I just can't get this to work. But in which case, Outrider actually still, even with our smaller chances for the domain, still came in clutch, especially in that last game there. Just making sure we had the lethal. Micromancer, I never actually get the chance to draft this, because it's usually when I see Micromancer, I don't have any of the spells that I can grab with it. And a Micromancer with Spell Thief, that was great. So, fun times had here, and it was, even though we were close, because we did lose 2, as you saw, it had power. So this was fun. Alright, let's get our prize here. Alright. Well, we're actually hitting up to our 8 o'clock time, so we don't have enough time to really do another draft, because they take so long to do. But I'd like to thank everyone who ended up joining us for the night. And let's go ahead and take a look at our victory packs. We have quite a few here. Actually, let me open this one real quick, just because I'm curious if I get another, more gems. I'm actually missing some rares from this set, but it just keeps giving me gems from these packs. But in any case, the Dominator Unite. Let's see what we get for the rewards here. All right, any type of rare, love it. We get our bonus rare there. The Horde Master, the Goblin deck. You know, I still haven't checked to see if you can do goblins in standard. I don't think there's enough goblins to do it, but this thing is a powerhouse if you could take it into the historic format or even Pioneer, because there's enough goblins to make a very powerful goblin deck there. I don't know if I have enough of the cards to do it, but I should check it out. Well, that's my final copy of Liliana the Veil to complete my set. Or at least I think it is. Still not a big fan of the Raven Man. Evolved Sleeper, that's a good card. I think that's my 4th copy of that, so finished out the playsets of those. Ooh, Joda, yes. This is a card I've been trying to get copies of, because I want to build the deck around him, but this is my first copy to pull out of the packs. Sten's pretty good. I haven't come up with a deck idea for it yet, but I have heard of some people going with the idea of like choosing artifacts and doing a play artifacts for free out of your deck kind of idea, because it reduces the colorless mana value of a card. So you can end out reducing your colorless costs, then you play something that lets you play cards off the top of your deck, and you just chain all the cards for free between Sten and other colorless mana cost reducers. Urza assembles the Titans. How does this work again? Scry 4, you may reveal the top card of your library. If a Planeswalker card is revealed this way, put it into your hand. Phase 2, you may put a Planeswalker card from with mana value 6 or less from your hand onto the battlefield. Phase 3, you may activate the loyalty abilities of a Planeswalker you control twice, rather than only once. This is powerful. Now I'm trying to think, what can we do with this that breaks it? And I just realized this has actually got the artwork involving all the original Planeswalkers, because this is Urza Assembles the Titan. So this is when Urza first invades Phyrexia. So you have Windgrace, you have shoot, I actually can't name them all anymore because it's been so long since I looked at all their names, but this guy was present on some red-blue cards, but I don't think they ever made him into a card. Like, oh man, yeah, no, I forgot the names of most of them now. That kind of bugs me a little, but still, it was a cool time in the story. Because he literally does make everyone like power machines to go in and invade Phyrexia. Alright. Gotta love getting the lands. Mana fixers are always one of those things you want for decks. I don't know if you can make a good soldier deck right now, but it's still not a bad card. It's not as good as a number of the other ones, but it's still not a bad card. Haven't I already gotten 4 copies of you? You're a terrible card. Alright, and the last pack. The Hadi Jin. I think that's my 3rd copy of the Jin, so I can basically make the mono blue deck now. I just need to craft one, and since we know we got plenty of crafts. Oh, let me open up my vault here. Yep, so we have enough that we can craft that. In which case, well, I hope everyone enjoyed seeing what we got for the rewards. If you got any deck ideas that you'd like to see me try to maybe play for the standard or any of the other formats, feel free to hit us up in the Discord. If you don't have a link to that, let me provide you with one. Now, you can always check it out in the About section to find it, but there's a link to the Discord. And we are also running a YouTube channel. I know it's been a couple days since I last posted. I do apologize about that for those who have been enjoying the content. But I'll have some new content posted for you to check out, and it'll be live tomorrow. So, in any case, I hope you enjoyed everything tonight, and I will hopefully see you again next time. I know we're a small group, but let's go ahead and head ourselves off on a raid. If there's any suggestions on who you'd like to see raided, feel free to shout it out. Now, definitely think about that. But otherwise, I was thinking we could maybe go hit up Otopix, who likes to draft as well. So if you are interested in seeing some more draft content, we'll go hit up Odo. And let's see, where is it? There it is. There's raid. But in any case, but yeah, no, one last time, thanks you very much for everyone who joins. I'll hopefully see you again next time. We usually get on at 4 o'clock, and we go till about 8. Somewhere between 8 and 9 is usually when we stop, and I mean by 8 and 9 Pacific Standard Time. So, in any case, take care, and hopefully see you next time.